Do not trust Christian girls. This video is for all the MGTOWers out there who are maybe looking for a good girl to settle down with, who is not completely committed to MGTOW, but is resorting to going their own way until they find a decent girl, which is, pretty hard to do in this day and age. But even if you find a self-described traditional Christian girl, it's not guaranteed that she's not like all these other Western thoughts. I'm gonna tell you a story. Last year after my divorce, I kind of went wild. And I guess you could say I went MGTOW. I was definitely riding that line between MGTOW and trying to find a traditional girl, because that's what I want, a family. I really do, but I also empathize with the modern Western man and the MGTOW movement especially, because I was in this relationship with my ex-wife for 7 years, and then prior to that I was with the girl for 2. It's been a while since I've been on the dating scene, and I knew it was bad. I knew how pernicious these Western women could be, how dangerous. But it wasn't until my divorce and when I was just truly red-pilled. And I was red-pilled before, but I think that was my final stage. That was my boss battle, if you will. And wow, that divorce, along with my advent into the modern dating scene, wow, it opened my eyes. These modern Western women are delusional, and that is being nice. They have delusions of grandeur. They want it all. This society has been made so safe. It's relatively easy to access resources. I mean, you just get a job, and that's that. So yeah, women are entering careers, and because of this abundance that we have in Western society, we have these meaningless jobs like HR and safety directors and PR. I mean, everything that all these jobs that don't really add to productivity. It's just to, I guess, maintain a certain status quo and level of safety in the company. Because of course, women have entered the job force, and everything has to be safe and predictable. And we can't take risks anymore. We can't even joke around anymore because, women's feelings might get hurt. So you have these women that go around, and they've been indoctrinated as well, growing up, saying that you don't need a man, you need to get a job first, you need to have a career, and you can do anything you want. So this was a rude awakening for me. I entered the dating scene, and I discovered all these women on these dating sites that are a product of all this that I was talking about. I met a lot of girls. I met this one girl, and she lived about 1,000 miles away. And I don't know what I was doing, honestly, contacting her, because, what can you do with a woman 1,000 miles away? But she was young. She was 20 when I first met her, and we hit it off. We talked on the phone, we did Skype and all that. And, all the while, of course, I was going on actual dates and pumping and dumping as well. But I was talking to this girl, we'll call her N. She was a traditional conservative, great family, well off, very, very Christian, but not in a fundamentalist, annoying kind of way. Virgin. She was, and she's very, very, very pretty. So she was desirable, very desirable, and she was sort of a conundrum to me. She was, like I said, she was very Christian, wanted to wanted a strong Christian man, wanted to wait till the marriage to have sex, wanted to have a family, but also she's a product of Western society. She was very emotionally labile. She wanted a career in dentistry, so she's wasting her time in school with all that. But she also wanted a family, so it's another woman wanting it all. But man, she was hard up on finding somebody. She was on these dating websites. She was on 3, I believe. And she was going through guys, dating them left and right, going on first dates after first date. And man, she really wanted to find somebody. I mean, we ended up actually talking on and off for about a year. I mean, she was really into me, and but the relationship obviously wasn't going anywhere. She was 1,000 miles away, and we would talk on and off, and I would try to tell her that she couldn't have it all. That in a few years, she's gonna be looking at that wall, and she wanted to go through school and graduate, and it would take her till like 23, 24, and then she wanted to establish herself in a career, and then of course she wanted to get married in that time. And I tried telling her, you can't just have it all. You can't just go to school and also try to find a man and start a family. It's just all wasted time and resources. And of course she was only wasting her father's resources, but that's neither here or there. But of course it wasn't landing home for her. She continued on her way. But the point of this video is what she showed me in regards to the female psyche. She was often tempted by the perniciousness of the Western society. She started going to clubs and being tempted by the young woman's nightlife. And when I talked to her about it, I could hear the struggle within her between her Christian traditional self and her want to quote unquote have fun, because that was her argument. That was her trying to rationalize this. She stressed to me how important her values are, but she also said, what's wrong with just having fun? And I tried telling her that you can't have it all. Again, you cannot retain your values and do all these things that thoughts are known for, all these things that Western women are participating in. Licentiousness, drinking. That's another thing she was struggling with, is getting drunk with her friends, and it just led me to believe that women are too irrational to set and live by certain standards. And I think that's why religion was probably created, was to control women's hypergamy. And that's why I've become more traditional in this past year than I've ever have. I've always been somewhat traditional, but I've realized that women need to be controlled. And I know that's a very unpopular belief to hold right now, and it sounds, I mean, it does sound a little harsh. I mean, that women need to be controlled, but it's true. And I don't mean you need to be violent toward them, but a strong man needs to set standards and limits for women, especially now, especially in today's abundance of the West. Women are out of control. They're literally out of control. Not only are they paying for it, but men are paying for it, and society as a whole. There's going to be a collapse, and it's coming. And it's not because of the political breakdown. It's not because of war. It's going to be because of men and women's inability in the West to cooperate. So let me know what you think down below. Leave a comment, like, would be appreciated. Subscribe would be more appreciated. And I'll see you in the next video.